As of yesterday, the Charlotte Hornets signed a non-guaranteed contract for the one and only Liangelo Ball. So what does this mean for the Hornets? Well, I think that it means a lot for the Hornets, and it's a lot of good for the Hornets. So taking a look at his stats, Liangelo Ball, 6'5", 230 out of UCLA. We all know his story. He was a hooper, and he still is a hooper, but he had some overseas troubles where he got caught shoplifting and ended up going to jail, etc., and he kind of got blacklisted, which, again, he was a kid. I think it's kind of unfair to just blacklist him for so long when he's someone who's proven to have talent and someone who could be in the NBA and succeed in the NBA. So I've been waiting for this to happen for a long time, for him to get an actual chance, because I see him all the time. It's like, man, this guy can shoot. This guy can, run a little point guard, shooting guard. He honestly, 1 through 3, he could probably play pretty well. And he's just a bucket getter. And he is probably, out of the 3 Ball brothers, the most score-oriented out of the 3. And that's saying a lot, because last year, LaMelo averaged 20 points. And that's pretty good to average 20 points in the NBA. Now, while I would probably prefer more of like a Lonzo or LaMelo Ball, kind of a more do-it-all guy, play defense, play offense, and kind of, shoot well. There's a lot of upside in Liangelo Ball and his potential and what he can be. I think first and foremost, he's a shooter. Again, taking a look at his stats, last year in the G League for the Greensboro Swarm, he averaged 4.5 points, 1.1 rebounds, 0.3 assists. And while those, and it was on 13 minutes, and while those stats don't necessarily jump out at anybody, I beg to say that his 3-point shooting percentage kind of does. It's an above average 3-point percentage with barely any shots taken. I think that possibly at a high volume, he could probably be a 40% 3-point shooter. I wouldn't put that past him. He shot 36%. It's not bad. It's above league average, which I think it's like 35 point something. And again, I think there's just a lot of upside. I think he's a guy who can come off the bench or start on your lineup and just give you points. He's going to play a little bit of defense. I don't know if he's the best defender or not. I can't seem to remember if he really is a great defender or anything like that. But when I think Liangelo Ball, I think someone who's a bucket getter. I think in his last year with playing at Chino Hills with his brothers, he averaged close to 30 points, if not 30 points. And that's on a team with LaMelo, with Lonzo, who are all ball-heavy guards, want the ball in their hand, need the ball in their hands, and they just could make it work. And maybe that is a little bit of, oh, hey, he's my brother, I'm going to make that pass to him, et cetera, et cetera. But I just really believe that he's a bucket getter, and he's someone who's going to help a team out. And I think he's going to play that role of Miles Bridges on that team. While he may not be as good of a defender as Miles Bridges is, although Miles Bridges isn't the best defender, I think he's going to kind of play a similar role. He's going to be explosive, not as explosive, but he's going to be explosive. He's going to get buckets, and he might be able to average that 20 points per game, especially having his own brother on his team who's going to want him to get him the ball, and not only want to get him the ball, but knows his spots and knows what his brother's capable of. He knows how to get the ball to his brother, and that's a huge thing, to have someone know your game inside and out. And I saw Alonzo tweet, hey, all he needed was a chance, and that's what I've been saying. All he needs is a chance. Worst case scenario, this is a non-guaranteed contract, right? Even if you sign him for a guaranteed contract for $1 million for like a year, you're losing out $1 million on a trial run. And for the NBA, that's not a lot of money. While it is a ton of money for people like me, it's not just money thrown in the waste, right? I think it's worth giving a try. I think it's worth giving him a chance. And again, I've been waiting for this for like a couple years, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I hope that because it's non-guaranteed that they're just going to like come preseason or come the beginning of the season, they just throw out the contract and say, never mind. I hope that's not what happens. I don't think so, because they're kind of needing that shooting guard, small forward role to be filled a little bit. And I think having LaMelo backing him up is probably going to help that cause. But at the same time, I don't really know the details of that non-guaranteed contract. What makes it non-guaranteed? What does he have to do a certain something to keep that contract in place? if he goes below a certain shooting percentage or certain points per game, does he get kicked off the team and not get paid anymore? I don't really know how those things work. There's a very thin line between it being fair and not fair, I believe. But I'm honestly just really excited to see what's going to happen with Liangelo Ball. And I'm ready to see how that Hornets team is going to bounce back after this Miles Bridges tragedy that happened. I mean, dude's an idiot. He shouldn't have done it. And he played a big role on that team. So I'm really hoping that he's going to fill that void for that team. But yeah, that's everything, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about. As always, if you enjoy the content, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe. Leave a like. Yeah, let me know what you guys want to talk about and hear from me. I'd love to hear that. Bye.